All right, so why? Here's the rest of the why. And Kat said this, we don't have deficiencies in the US, really. By the way, I shouldn't say that anymore. We have now reinvented rickets. We wiped it out in the early 20th century. You know, people that had rickets was because of vitamin D. As Kat said, we went from agriculture to indoors. And once that happened, everybody's got bone deformity. It was a massive plague around the world. So we had to put vitamin D in milk because milk was something everybody drank because that's how they got their protein and all the nutrients that they needed in one little capsule, right? And so that's what the invention of the milkman. They had to drop milk off at every house and everything else, and vitamin D. So we don't have the deficiencies, but almost everybody is in an insufficiency, as we've just shown you, because you're not eating what you saw earlier. No one knows, but you don't know if you're near a deficiency, and most of us are in an insufficiency if food alone is the delivery. And what is the definition of an insufficiency? It is an undetectable starting point with an insidious progression that physically manifests as sickness or injury, if you're an athlete, injury later in life or in your career, or what we call early aging. And that's what it is. So in other words, you can only build bone, 80% of your bone is built before puberty. So at 16, you build very little bone, and by 30, you don't build any more. All you do is lose it. Okay, so the whole point of this is what we're talking about, is that if you didn't build enough, if you didn't do all the right things early, and that's not when you're thinking about it because you're immortal when you're young, bad things are going to happen when you get older. And you've seen all the people out there right now, 65, 70% of everybody over 65 has osteoporosis, osteopenia, the beginning of it from lack of vitamin D and calcium as a kid, or vitamin K or magnesium, all those things that work together synergistically to build strong bones and muscles and all the other things. So just keep those things in mind. That's what insufficiencies are, and you're not going to just accidentally get it all from food. That is a fool's errand to think that. Now, if you look at this, hit the next slide there, Kat. You can see where we are. Yes. So foods, go back, I'm sorry, yeah. Foods actually supply about 60 to 85%. We've done a good job fortifying foods. I will give, we've done a pretty good job taking and putting vitamin D in milk, putting B vitamins back in bread, putting folate, putting calcium in orange juice. None of that stuff's natural. And if we didn't do that, we'd all be dead in our 20s and 30s, just so you know. Okay, you're supplementing whether you know it or not. But even with fortified foods, all we're getting is 60 to 85% because we don't know everybody's eating those foods. That's a crapshoot, all right? So 60 to 85% of vitamin mineral activity. And do you remember that slide Kat showed at the very beginning, the metabolism slide? Well, guess what? That metabolism doesn't happen. Not one part of that metabolism happens without vitamins and minerals, 30 of them. You're missing one, you're dead. If you are low on them, like everybody is, they just down-regulate and your metabolism just works a little slower. It works to the vitamin minerals that you bring into the body. That's what it works to. Okay, so that's what you're at. We're functioning at that when food alone is delivery. Go to the next slide. So again, these are the top under-consumed nutrients. So these are below the ear, and that is the estimated average requirement, which means that 50% of the people are affected severely by this. So we don't even use this number. We're just putting it in here because 9 nutrients are below the ear.